Hey everybody, welcome to Live at 5. Thanks for joining us. I am Ryan Lee Gilbert.
And I'm going to say it like you. I am Beth Stevens.
Welcome. We're so excited to be here. We have a wonderful, wonderful guest today.
Best.
One of our very favorite people in the world, Sarah Stiles.
Yay!
Will be joining us in a little bit to talk about her show, Squirrel Heart at Joe's Pub. But first, Squirrel. Yeah, exactly. We're going to find out all about where that name came from and more. But first, we have some news.
Obviously, we're punchy. The year is winding down. We have casting for Off-Broadway's Relevance. This is a play by J.C. Lee, and it's a world premiere. And Pascal Armand was is joining.
Mm-hmm.
Pascal Armand was in Eclipse. Remember that?
Oh my, she was
so
unbelievable in
Eclipse.
Eclipse.
She's joining the previously announced Jane Howdy-Shell, a.k.a.
Also
the
pretty
Tony
talented,
winner.
that
The
Jane
Tony
Howdy-Shell, yeah.
So this is about a celebrated author and a veteran feminist warrior. This keeps on changing because it used to be like, and an up-and-coming writer, but now she's a feminist warrior. But that's who Jane Howdy-Shell is playing. And then Pascal is playing a promising young writer who's quickly becoming the leading cultural critic on race, class, and gender for a new generation. I am already hooked. Mm-hmm. When a heated exchange between the two women goes viral, I love this already.
Yep. Howdy-Shell's character,
Jane
Teresa,
finds herself ill-equipped to manage her message against a rival whose time may have come. This is directed by Liesl Tommy, who did direct Eclipse. And thus knows Pascal Armand. It begins at the Lucille Artel Theater on February 1st and opens there on February 20th.
And Molly Camp and Richard Mazer are also joining that production.
Thank you for helping me out.
That's
Good
all right.
casting.
That's great casting. Mamma Mia 2. Everyone is really, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, everyone's really excited about. And there is a teaser trailer for this film now. The sequel to the smash film, based on the long-running Broadway hit, introduces the backstory of Donna, played by Meryl Streep in the movie, but now we are following her younger self, played by Broadway alum Jessica Keenan Wynn. This is a great description, filled with a bouquet of ABBA tunes not heard in the first film. The film also stars Cher, amazing, as Donna's mom, and all the stars from the first film: Amanda Seyfried, Julie Walters, Christine Baranski, Dominic Cooper, Stellan Skarsgård, Colin Firth, and Pierce Brosnan are all in the film.
More ABBA tunes.
More ABBA tunes, and you can get a look at that teaser trailer right now.
So this is a teaser trailer, and then tomorrow
So then there will be a full trailer tomorrow, which you will be able to watch on Broadway.com.
So are you going to stay on Live at 5 tomorrow? And now we've got a full
And now we
trailer.
have the full trailer that we teased yesterday. And the release date for this film is July 20th, 2018.
So you read a lot of books.
I read a ton of books.
You do?
Yes.
Have you read the Artemis Fowl books? Because you like to read young adult. Have you?
I have not. No,
okay,
this is new to me.
My son is obsessed, and he actually, the day that they come out, I have to go get them.
Why?
It's
I
a
get
series.
it. I get it.
So it's actually going to be a live-action film starring Tony nominee Josh Gad, whom we adore, and Tony winner Dame Judi Dench. So this is based on the popular book series. Artemis Fowl is a 12-year-old genius who battles against a group of fairies, as you do, that might be the cause of the disappearance of his father.
Oh.
Gad will play the kleptomaniacal, I said that word.
Done.
That is a very long word. Dwarf Mulch Diggums.
What a great name.
Dench will play Fairy Police Force Leader Commander Root. Of course she does.
This sounds amazing, actually.
And the title role will be played by newcomer
Faria Shaw.
Faria Shaw. I'm going to assume that's how you pronounce the name, but we will all know because this is going to be a big hit. Kenneth Branagh directs, and the release date is August 9th, 2019. I'm going to tell my son.
This sounds
great. He's 10. So he's into this,
Yeah. No, it sounds. I'm into this from the sounds of it.
Well, Judi Dench and Josh Gad, you cannot go wrong.
On the site today, you can look at. We announced what we decided were the best shows of 2017.
It's just our opinion.
It's just our opinion. We justify them, but this is what we say. And the number one pick. Once on This Island.
We're all in agreement on that.
Which we're obsessed with.
We love
so
that show.
there was no argument from any of us there.
Yes. Also on the site today, from Once on This Island, Lea Salonga is on Show People with Paul Wontorek. We have a new trailer, not a teaser trailer, just an actual trailer for NBC's musical TV series Rise with Josh Radnor. This looks like it's going to be awesome.
It looks really good, yes.
As
Sarah Stiles says, it looks like a little bit of Friday Night Lights mixed with musical theater.
Sarah Stiles is blurbing Rise. It's going to be like on the buses and posters. Candy Burris, am I saying her name correctly?
Yes.
Candy Burris, I don't watch Real Housewives. She's a Real Housewife. She's talking to Kelly Ripa and Andy Cohen about her Broadway debut in the musical Chicago.
She's playing
And Kelly
Matron
Ripa
Mama Morton. Yeah.
said that that's the only show she's ever seen. And
Kelly,
we don't believe you, Kelly.
please.
We think you're always at Broadway shows, and you're just very tiny and we can't see you.
Exactly.
In that case, we are going to... I told you I was punchy.
Yes.
It's very close to Christmas. I've had a lot of sugar. Sarah Stiles is here. Stay with us.
Stay with.
We'll be right back.
These artists will come together for only one thing. It's not a concert. It's not an award show. It's SpongeBob the Musical on Broadway.
Go ahead, throw your rocks at me.
Baking a pie is easy, if you know how.
I'm still standing.
If only life were as easy as pie. Waitress is a hit, raves the New York Times, with songs by Grammy-nominated artist Sarah Bareilles, an uplifting celebration of love and laughter. Sugar, butter, flour.
Ben Brantley of the New York Times calls The Book of Mormon the best musical of this century. This was my 4th time seeing it, and they still had me at hello. Winner of 9 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. The Book of Mormon on Broadway.
You got to get up every morning.
For Carole King, finding the top of the charts was easy. Finding her own voice was beautiful. Beautiful, the Carole King musical.
And we are back. Joining us is Sarah Stiles, who was last seen on Broadway and got a Tony nomination. And hand to God, she's been on the West Coast filming Get Shorty, but she's back here in the city, and we're so happy she's taking Squirrel Heart to Joe's Pub. Welcome, Sarah Stiles. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, always. You are a Live at 5 veteran. You've been here before. You get it.
Yeah.
So how are things?
Things are so good. I'm
Yeah?
so busy right now.
Yeah, you're super busy.
Yeah,
right now.
I'm producing this show too.
You are. This is your.
I'm like
this is your baby.
choreographing it. I'm sewing buttons onto my costumes.
Which
There's
are
a lot
just your
going
clothes,
on.
right? Like
Yeah,
these
they're
are-
just my normal clothes.
No,
I'm
but tell
putting
us-
the set together. The
Exa-
set is
yeah.
just pieces of my bedroom.
This is your baby, and this is the
Yeah.
this is the second time that the show
Yeah.
will be at Joe's Pub. Right? You did it in 2016.
I did.
So how is this time a little bit different from when you are you know,
I'm
panicking less? Hopefully?
I'm panicking less, but it would be great if you buy some tickets.
Yes.
That would make me panic
come on.
even less. It's the holidays. We got stuff going on.
Right. You're gonna
But
want to
yeah,
kick off the new year right, and this is the way to do it.
You are, and it's so much fun. So
It's-
come out, come one and all. Yeah, I'm not panicking as much as I was last time. I didn't know what to
Fantastic.
expect. I'd never done one of those shows before.
Right.
So
that was your entrance
Yeah.
into the one woman, your own little show.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, and it went really well. And so
It went
now
great.
we just we're tweaking it and making it even better.
So for people who aren't familiar with Squirrel Heart,
Yeah.
give us a little bit of a rundown on how this show of yours
It's
works.
so hard to describe it.
Those are the best kind.
It's an cabaret extravaganza, and the extravaganza part is, it's like a nightclub act, but it's also has theatrical moments. I'm wearing a body mic for most of it. It's not like the
Okay.
stand and sing. I change my costumes for every number. It's a lot of choreography. There's video elements that we've put in this time around.
Oh, wow.
I've
Okay,
been
so
working
the
with my brother.
budget?
Yeah, well, no, it didn't because my brother's a filmmaker.
Oh, okay. Calling in those family favors.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
So he's like,
That's what your brother shot the teasers for you, right? That you put out.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
we're definitely watch those teasers, and the last teaser we just released with the puppets. You might see those puppets again if you come see the show.
Puppets. You've got familiarity with puppets. You're an old hand at puppets.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So Squirrel Heart, I love where the name came from a poem you wrote,
Yeah.
right? And then you kind of you've weaved this whole story into what was the poem about? Where does Squirrel Heart come from?
Squirrel Heart. It's a poem that I wrote after really painful, horrible, destructive breakup.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry I brought it.
No, it's not like I guess it's a take on it's the way my brain works when I think about like relationships. I did these analogies, like if this relationship, if that is a heart, what kind of heart would it be? Would this relationship be? So like, I don't want to give a lot away, but one of them is like a disco ball heart. Okay. Do you know what I mean? So like, and then I elaborate on what that means. Right. So that's what the poem is about, and we found this like beautiful way to put these songs, this medley, like inside the poem. So it's in the second half of the show, and it's a good piece, man. I'm really proud of it. Yeah. And my collaborators, Holly Gawanter and Brian Nash and Darren Katz, we all came up with this show together, and that piece in particular, like, we all really get behind.
Right. And it's different, like, genres of music, too, right? Yeah. Like, you're all over the place.
Oh, totally. I mean, there's great musical theater, like traditional musical theater moments, but there are also some originals. I play the ukulele.
That's right.
And then there's there's some more poppy kind of stuff too, jazz. we do a little bit of everything.
It's a little bit of everything. Those are the best.
Yeah.
Was it when you started creating this show, what was the driving force behind it? Did you want to just try something new, or did you have this amazing idea in your head that you wanted to execute? Like what birthed this show?
I had never any intention of doing a one-woman show, but
it's a huge task.
Yeah, I didn't feel worthy of it. It scared me. But my Holly Gawanter, who I was working on her show, The Real True Story, of doing a reading of it, and she was like, "You need to have
Cinderella
one." Yeah,
okay.
And it's actually the same team. It's Darren Katz directing and Brian Nash, the music director. So we were working on this piece, and we had such a great time working on it. And Holly was like, "You have to do your own show," and so she made me do it. I mean, it really was like, it was agony in the beginning, because she was just like, you have to do it. She made me like come and like sit down and write songs out that I wanted to, write what I wanted to talk about. But it was the best decision I ever made.
And it was received it must have felt so wonderful to have, not only family and friends there, but like everyone wrote about it so lovingly, and there's so many people. That must just be like such creative.
It was awesome. It was definitely, you know what it is? It's when you create something and really bring your essence and your heart and what you want to say as a performer out into the world and show it for people. It really doesn't even matter at that point how it's received. It's like the act of doing it is so huge.
And you're so proud of yourself for actually just getting
it's scary, and it's so important that we all do that. I'm a big fan of going to Joe's Pub and going to all these different venues and seeing people's shows, because it's really important to support each other and see what makes people tick,
Right, and to see them as their full artist self. Like, this is all of the stuff that they put into this one show.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
It's cool.
But like you've said, you've been super busy.
Yeah.
So you've been on the West Coast.
Yes.
Filming Get Shorty. You play Gladys in the show. You've already been renewed for a second season.
Yes,
so
I know,
exciting.
It's very exciting.
Did you miss the city? Did you miss New York? Did you want that live theater experience again?
Totally did. It was I have really enjoyed working on a series. It is very rewarding in a lot of ways, but as a funny person, when you are doing things that are funny and no one is laughing,
the instant gratification
feels terrible.
No, I can imagine where you've landed something and the crew's just like.
And so much of comedy, especially like in Hand to God, are you kidding? Like, we would have to ride the wave of it. Like,
I saw that show 4 times.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Hand to God fan.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was definitely, I didn't know. I've had to learn to just really trust myself, because you don't get that instant, gratification.
Absolutely.
So I miss New York. I wanted to come back, and I'm like, I would like people to laugh out loud in front of my face.
And you miss singing, I can imagine,
yeah.
right? Because you had like Hand to God, you didn't really get to didn't sing.
They made me a singer on the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
The showrunner.
It's a brilliant idea.
The showrunner, Davey Holmes, found out that I was going back to New York to work on a workshop for someone, and he was like, I had no idea you did that, which is hilarious, and I
Right.
love.
right.
Because I'm like, well, yeah, no, just for like 18 years, but okay. But he was like, I think maybe Gladys is a singer. I think that's what we need to do. So he wrote that into the show, and now that's like a huge part of her character. I actually sing in one of the episodes.
That's fantastic.
Like without
That's
any clothes on, but
and
I still. I'm not even kidding you right now.
And you in the show, you are Ray Romano's secretary, right?
Yeah.
Like his assistant, like that.
Yeah.
How is it working with Ray Romano?
Oh, he's
Who I
awesome.
adore.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
The Big Sick. He's so great in
He's so great in
Parenthood.
that, yeah.
I loved him on.
He's an incredible actor and just a really good human.
Mm-hmm.
He's very talented, and he's also really down to earth, and he's just awesome.
Is he super funny, like in real life?
Yeah,
too? Like,
he is funny, but he's also like kind of quiet. He's a little shy, I think.
Okay, all right.
We became buds, though.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope so. We have a couple of questions here, and then we can continue. What was the experience like with Hand to God with the dude who plugged his phone into the fake outlet?
Oh
This
my
was a big story. Yes,
Yeah.
but that's
Well, it was terrifying
I can imagine.
because I was in the wings getting ready to go on, and Steve had to climb.
Steve Boyer.
Steve Boyer had to climb through this little hole to get to the puppet theater. It's very glamorous. And so I was in the wings watching him do that at normal, and then all of a sudden this guy leaps up onto the stage as the lights are going down. I mean, I thought Steven was gonna die.
Yeah, I
freaked out. I was like, I just panicked, and we're the stage manager right there, but then we realized what was happening. How ridiculous is that?
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like not funny at all.
No.
Like, no, not that amusing to that dude.
Maybe like a little funny now.
I mean, in retrospect. But yeah. Alec would like to know, your funniest spelling bee memery. So 25th annual spelling bee,
My
big deal for you.
funniest memory?
Your funniest memory.
Gosh, that was my first Broadway gig, was doing it, being the understudy for all the three
Right.
girls. And that wasn't funny as much as just really hard and scary.
Being an understudy is
It's
just
hard.
it's the hardest thing.
Yeah,
in the
my
world.
debut was going on for Schwartzy for the matinee and all of at night, and I had no put-ins.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Oh, geez.
But it was super awesome too.
Live
I don't know.
theater.
And that was Jesse. Jesse was there. And
Right.
he found out that it was my Broadway debut and brought me flowers, and I'd never. I'd met him one time before
What a
that.
sweetheart.
He's a really nice guy.
He's the
too.
best.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Yay for him and his career.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
Absolutely. Modern Family. I love that show so much.
What show?
I've never heard of it. Anne wants you to know that she loves the name Squirrel Heart since she is a squirrel nut. I see what you did there.
Anne?
Yes. Anne, yeah.
You should come and see my squirrel show.
that.
There might be squirrel cookies at the end of the evening.
I think I saw somewhere, by the way, in the teasers, you'll see this little orange squirrel. That was a gift, wasn't that from somebody?
Yes.
Speaking of.
From Geneva Carr.
It's Tony
Bull.
nominee for Hand to
Anyone?
God.
Bull?
Yeah. And Bull.
Yeah.
Good for her as well. I mean, look
Dude.
at you. And then you got Steven on Trial and Error.
Yes.
You Hand to God guys. And then
Yeah.
Mark Kudich was just in Mindhunter.
Oh, I
You guys
loved
are
that.
Nailing it.
Yeah.
Way to go.
He was so creepy on that.
I know.
I wrote
He
him
has the
immediately, and I'm like,
creepiest
that
episode.
was terrifying.
Yeah, it's all about serial killers, but he manages to have the creepiest, that involves
Coots.
tickling. Yeah,
Coots, have you bought your tickets yet to Squirrel Heart? Come
all
on.
of you, come on. Let's. Peyton would like to know what's the best and the worst advice you've ever been given.
Oh.
Tall order, Peyton.
God, I have no idea. Well, the best
advice
is
was probably
always,
creating your own show.
Well, yes, and being yourself, which is also about
Mm-hmm.
creating your own show. I mean, that's always the best advice for life.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Just be
yeah.
you, because there's only one of you, and that's enough. You know,
Mm-hmm.
those mantras. I'm a big fan of all of those. They're up everywhere in my house. It's the only way to get through the day. Yeah. What's the worst advice? Gosh, I don't know.
There's
Straighten
a lot
my
of
hair.
bad. There's a lot of bad
Straighten
advice
your
out
hair,
there.
girl. As soon as I started wearing my hair curly, I started booking TV jobs.
Look at that. See?
Really, it was very weird.
See?
But
The more you are yourself, the more luck comes your
do you
way.
see how
Full
he did
circle.
that?
And
Yeah.
speaking of these teasers, you filmed these in your own apartment, right? And then
Those are my things. Those are all my things.
Has that been a blast, being able to work on the show, but also like have your brother involved and have it just be this representation of you, top to bottom?
Oh yeah, well, because it takes a village, right, to make everything happen, and doing this with my brother has been awesome. I mean, I'm a big fan of him, anyways, but yeah, he's newly into this filmmaking as well. This whole thing.
Gotcha.
It's like a new career for him, and he's great. And so it was really fun. It was just the two of us. We didn't even write those things ahead of time.
Really?
Like the Bills one.
Yeah.
I was like, he's like, I think you should just be like, just singing along to a song, but like looking at your bills. And I'm like, okay, so, and I just took, as he was setting up the lights, I wrote that, and then I read it off my computer. We were filming it. That's why there's like a light on my eyes, because I'm reading it off my computer.
You are a well of inspiration.
No, I don't know. But that was my brother. I mean, when you get together with people that are, like think the same way as you, it goes quicker.
What is something that, doing this show, your own show, what's something you've learned about yourself? What's a lesson that you've taught yourself by having this experience?
Oh gosh, I mean, when you're doing your own work and something that's really just authentically you're constantly learning things every second about yourself. You know what? I've learned that I am stronger than I thought I was. And I'm braver than I thought I was. I always thought that I was pretty strong, pretty brave, but I'm taking risks.
Yeah. And having to be in charge, have you realized that you're a pretty good manager?
Oh, good. I'm glad you said that, because that is actually true.
I mean, you've had to be the boss. I bet.
Like, I'm like writing emails, and I'm like, okay, you need to show up here, and this is how like, it's kind of thrilling.
I can imagine. Yeah. Like getting to be the boss.
Yeah.
And being good at it. Like that's the really cool thing.
Yeah, like knowing your voice really matters. I mean, it does matter, because at the end of the day, everyone's like looking at me going, all right, well, what do you want to do? And I'm like, right, okay, I have to make the final decision.
Right.
Ultimately.
Yeah, the buck stops with.
Which is so much pressure.
Yeah.
But it's also just.
But it's a test.
Thrilling.
Like, can I meet that pressure? And can you? Yeah. And as we said earlier, you've done the show before at Joe's Pub. Have there been changes made to the version that people will be seeing in 2018? Right at the top of 2018.
Yeah.
What are some of the like changes?
We've changed a couple songs. A few songs have changed. Some songs got taken out, and then we added a couple. The video element is definitely different. There's 3 little shorts that are going to be played throughout and then it's just fine tuning all of it. Like, we learned so much the first time around, and now I just know it better too. You're constantly rewriting leading up to it, and for the last we've been pretty solid the last 3 weeks. Every time I run it, I've been like, yeah, this is a show. Let's just make it really awesome.
Right, yeah. And do you like to, is there fan interaction? Do you,
totally.
Yeah,
you have to do that.
I mean, that's why they're there. They're there to see you and hang out with you.
If you are sitting in the front row by the little stairs, you'll get some attention.
Right. And what about coming up? What are some of the things? I mean, when do you leave? Do you go back to the West Coast to film?
Yeah,
again,
we start in February.
Okay. Right.
And I think we'll be out there about 4 months. I can't wait.
That's
to go
a nice
back.
chunk of time to be on the West Coast. February, March, April, May. Like, it just as it's like
it's so rude.
Miserable over here.
Yeah.
So
it's great, and I love the cast is so awesome. So that's been Chris O'Dowd retweeted right away my Squirrel Heart show.
I saw that.
Did you see
I saw that. I saw you had a lot of
sweet.
support from a lot of people right away.
Yeah,
Go see this girl. And
yeah. So it's cool.
It's so great to have so many wonderful cast members. Do you like the West Coast? Do you enjoy it?
I do. I love the weather. I love the hiking and the farmers markets and like all that. But yeah, there's something about the energy of New York and the vibe of the people that grind it out every day here I just have such respect for and really dig. So,
and the community, like, as people don't I mean, it's so small that you run into the same people and you see. I
know, like, going from one audition to another in LA, I'm like, I've been in the car for an hour and a half.
Right.
Like, how do we, although not having to carry around 14 tote bags. is kind of nice.
That sounds, that does sound nice. It does. And since you've been here, have you been able to see anything, experience anything?
I saw Schoolgirls. Did you
MCC
see it?
at Lucille Lortel.
Oh, it's so
I love that
good.
theater. They always do.
I know.
It's
That's
so
where
good.
Hand of God started.
That's right. That's right.
No, I love that theater, and I love that show. It's still happening. Almost done, but
I think it's almost done, but it's still happening right now.
It's till the 31st.
That Jane Howdy show we were just talking about, that's the next, I think, thing to go in there. But,
yeah.
So you've seen that,
so
you
I
like that.
saw that, and I saw Betty Buckley and Tori Scott at Joe's Pub and loved them.
Mm-hmm.
And what else have I? God, is that it? Is that the only theater?
I mean, that's. I mean, it's hard. It's hard. That's good stuff. And what about?
I've been busy.
Absolutely, you're coming from a rehearsal just to come see us. I mean,
yeah.
it takes up a lot of time.
I've got costumes and props.
And what about that's right. You have a prop here with you.
I do.
But no pressure. We do have the ukulele here, but you don't. I mean, it's
I feel like I want to save the song.
I get that.
Well,
I mean, buy tickets.
Buy tickets.
January 3rd and January 8th, please.
Yeah.
What about your holiday? Do you have holiday plans? What are you doing?
I'll be here, and my boyfriend's whole family is descending on my apartment.
Okay, it's gonna be like The Humans.
That's so true.
How are you?
Hopefully a little less
Hopefully a little less. Yeah. Are you excited?
I'm so excited. Yeah, he's got 2 little girls, and they're super fun.
Oh, adorable.
And yeah, so there'll be lots of cookie baking, and
Fantastic.
I'll try not to eat all of the snacks.
Mm-hmm. And then we get to kick off this 2018 with you in Squirrel Heart at Joe's Pub. Go see it. Buy your tickets. Thank you so much for joining us. You're such a treat. You're such a pleasure. We love you here. And you're welcome to come back anytime.
Oh, very, very nice.
Make sure you go see the show, Joe's Pub. You can find out all the info on our site and other places. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you again.
Thank
and we
you.
will see you tomorrow.
Bye.